Welcome to Advanced Macroeconomics. I'll be here sharing some tips to excel in this class, since it is one of the harder electives that I'm taking currently still as an engineering student. And I'm going to walk you through a brief summary of each chapter as well. So, what's this all about? Advanced macro is where you dive deep into theory and how economies work at a larger scale. So think GDP, unemployment, inflation, and policies that affect them. We'll explore general theories and growth and economic cycles and policies that governments and central banks use to manage the economy. Our guidebook, or what is a staple or standardized textbook for macroeconomic theory classes, is the one from David Roma. It's packed with lots of foundational theories, detailed models, and it's comprised of many real world applications. So, before we dive into the chapters, let's first talk strategy. The equations and graphs in this course are your best friend. Understanding them will save you a ton of stress during exams. Also, do keep up with the current events, explore media and what's going on in the economy. It helps you connect theory to real world applications, and it makes the learning stick better. Teamwork is also key. Study groups are a great way to bounce ideas around, especially for projects and problem sets. Alright, so chapter 1 deals with the soul growth model. This module helps us understand how economies grow and why some grow faster than others. It introduces stuff like steady states, which is basically an economy's long term growth path. And this also explains why poor countries can catch up with richer ones and even grow faster than them. The math is simple but powerful. Capital accumulation and diminishing returns are really needed here. Infinite horizons and overlapping generations. So here we dig into dynamic optimization, fancy words for how people make long-term decisions. We explore the OLG, overlapping generations model, which looks at how decisions today, like saving for retirement or taking on debt, can have an impact on future generations. We encounter tools like the Euler equations, which sound intimidating, but they are super duper useful. You just need to really get the hang of them. I guess once you're over the hurdle, it will start making sense. Yeah, highlighting its implications for over generational policy decisions. So, endogenous growth model, we move from growth driven by external factors to growth driven by innovation and human capital. This is called endogenous growth. It's so we think about how education, research, and technological breakthroughs impact long term growth. And it shows us how policies can boost or hurt growth by influencing these factors, and pretty cool stuff, yeah. So the real business cycle model, or the RBC theory, is all about economic fluctuations. It says that changes in technology and shocks in the economy, like discovering new ways to produce goods, can really cause booms and busts for the economy. But this is unlike the Keynesian model. It focuses on how people adjust their work and spending based on these shocks. So, the opposite of RBC theory is Keynesian economics, and it really focuses on short term economic growth, like unemployment or recessions. Sorry, I mean short term economic issues and problems. Here we learn why pieces and wages don't adjust instantly, how they can create imbalances. Policy wise, this chapter is all about fiscal stimulus and monetary tools to stable the economy. Dives into how people decide to spend or save their money. It introduces the life cycle hypothesis and the permanent income hypothesis, which explain why people might save during their working years and spend in retirement or vice versa. Investments is the focus of the slides, and it's on how businesses decide to spend on things like factories or equipment. We explore Tobin's Q theory, which connects stock market to performance to investment, and look at how interest rates play a big role. Monetary policy is a deep dive into what central banks can do to manage the economy. We learn rules like the Taylor rule and why inflation targeting is important. It covers why central banks' credibility matters, why people need to trust that inflation won't go out of control. Chapter 9 is the focus of fiscal policy. This is about government spending and taxes and how they would affect the economy. We talk about concepts like Ricardian equivalence. Do governments borrowing money really matter? And fiscal multipliers, which measure how effective spending can be. So finally, we look at open economies where countries trade goods, services, and money and across borders. It covers exchange rates, trade balances, and how government capital flows and influences national economies. We also look at how policies in one country can cripple through the entire global economy. And we've pretty much seen that from 2021 to 2025, or 2024 now, rather. And you know who I'm talking about. Okay, now, before I fall asleep as well, success in this course comes down to being good at the math and, more importantly, connecting theory to real world events. You have to practice consistently to be good at this class. It is very cumbersome, and you will feel stuck on a lot of these concepts. But really, do not hesitate to ask your prof, peers, or even people online for help when you're ever stuck. The field is challenging but incredibly rewarding. I know a few YouTube resources that may help you get through this class. So Klaus Pretner, who is a professor at the Vienna University, he makes good content and help videos on advanced macroeconomics. And the second guy, if I remember right, yeah, David Jenkins. I visit this guy's YouTube channel a lot, and